Well, it's April the 1st, 2020, and it's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to tell you a little bit more about the updated responses from the AMA in COVID-19.
And we're going to share with you some really cool builds that we found on the IFlyAMA Facebook group.
And what exactly is a Facebook hop? Well, we're going to tell you all about that and a lot more coming up today on AMA Air. Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I'm Claire Aldenheisen.
Claire, I hope you're staying safe and healthy over there at your location that you're in.
Well, I'm going a little stir crazy. I got a little bit of cabin fever over here.
Don't we all?
I've been doing a lot of stress baking, and as a result, a lot of stress eating. I have no one to share everything with, so I'm just putting all my baked goods in the freezer to eat later.
Yeah, I can understand that, and I think everybody can kind of relate to all this that's going on right now. So I want to thank you for coming and being on the show, being able to kind of cobble together something to give us a video feed from your house. I appreciate that, and I know so does everybody watching at home. I know I've been doing a lot of the same things, been kind of going a little stir crazy myself. So
I am working on my New Year's resolution,
which is,
of course, to read 100 books this year. I have an unexpected amount of free time. I just finished number 35.
Wow. 35.
Yep, 35 books so far. I'm 35% done.
I'm exactly 35 short of your number, so I'll catch up to do.
Well, now you have plenty of time. You don't have an excuse.
It's very true. Well, let's jump right into it. I guess, the topic at hand is the topic that everybody's talking about, which is COVID-19 and how it's affecting each of us individually and how it's affecting our hobby. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So first of all, it's, as you can probably tell, AMA headquarters employees are all working from home now, much like the rest of the country. The nice thing is we still have the ability to provide our member services to our membership, and that's still ongoing. So things like sanctioning, club chartering, content generation, just like this, like AMA Air's a part of that, as well as our emails and our magazine and all those sorts of things. And insurance fulfillment's another very important piece of our membership services. All those things are still happening. Yep. They're all being able to be performed remotely by our staff. So that's something I think it's important for everybody to know, that all these things are still ongoing.
Absolutely. And we also have some really fun stuff for families available that's coming up in the next few weeks. The education department, which I'm a part of, has been developing some activities that people can do at home. You don't have to have kids in the house to do these activities. If you're bored, you can put together a paper airplane, FPG-9, a kite. I have all kinds of really cool stuff that we've been putting together. I'm pretty excited about it. So you're going to be able to check that out coming up real soon.
Yeah, there's some really, really cool programs that you guys are putting out there for folks, and I encourage everybody to go take a look at that. One of the other things that I mentioned as far as sanctioned events are concerned, we talked, I think, briefly about it before, but we've specifically got a policy put out now about sanctioned events that have been scheduled for up through, I believe, May 31st. We usually have a policy where we do not offer refunds or credits for canceled or rescheduled events, but any event that's currently scheduled through May 31st, if those are canceled or postponed or rescheduled, we're going to be waiving those policies through that time and waiving those fees to get them rescheduled. So I think that's an important thing for folks to know. And of course, that's through May 31st as of right now. That date might change.
The whole situation is very fluid. We're playing it by ear just like you guys are.
That's absolutely right. The best thing you guys can do to stay up to date with information regarding how COVID-19 is affecting the AMA is to go over to modelaircraft.org/COVID-19. Again, that's modelaircraft.org/COVID-19. Or you can email Colleen Pierce at cpierce@modelaircraft.org. Those are the best ways to get the most up-to-date information on all this stuff because, Claire, as you said, this is all very fluid right now.
Absolutely. So, we were talking a little bit about content generation and, with AMA Air, the education department's stuff that we're coming out with right now. We also have some fun things coming from our very own Chad Boudreau, our executive director. So I know we talk about the podcast a lot, but that's still happening as well. And so we have a podcast with Chad. You can reach that at modelaircraft.org/podcast. And the View from HQ is still happening. I mean, it's not HQ right now, but it is a podcast, not a podcast, sorry. It's a live stream with Chad, which I really like. I think internally we all are pretty big fans of it. And I personally really like the transparency Chad is trying to put forth and keep people updated. So that's available at modelaircraft.org/view from HQ.
Absolutely. So again, we've got all these different outlets for folks. If you want to know the latest information on how this whole situation is affecting our hobby, modelaircraft.org/COVID-19. Again, I'm going to say it again to be clear. modelaircraft.org/COVID-19. That's going to be the place to go to get all of that information. So now that's out of the way, we can move on with the rest of the show. But first, we're going to take a little quick break. But coming up, we're going to tell you some more information on some IFlyAMA stories that caught our eye this week.
Model flying is more than just a hobby. It's also a unique teaching tool, a celebration of flight and aviation, and an activity that has encouraged hundreds of thousands to learn, build, and develop skills in many different disciplines. The AMA Foundation Endowment was established to benefit the model flying community today and in the future by providing funding for future model aviators, teachers, and students of all ages. Join us as we premiere a series of videos that were produced by students at Ball State University. The 3 videos are all different, but tell the story of model aviation and the AMA Foundation's work to build an endowment that will continue to sustain programs into the future. Those who contribute to the AMA Foundation Endowment Fund by purchasing a naming opportunity over $10,000 will have the opportunity to share their story, a story in memory of a loved one, or a company story with the model flying community, in a special edition of Model Aviation next year and on the AMA Foundation website. We hope you will join us in our efforts to build an endowment that will provide funding for programs for years to come. Contact us today and tell us where you will land at AMA's International Aeromodeling Center.
Well, I think people are kind of taking advantage of social distancing and having an extended winter build session, especially over at IFlyAMA. Our Facebook group, which I kind of refresh obsessively, especially right now that I have a lot of free time in between reading books. I've noticed we've had a lot of really cool builds lately. And the one I wanted to highlight this week was actually a Stop with Camel that's being being built by Mike Damiana. And he's been sharing every few days a handful of progress photos. And seriously, every time I have a notification from IFlyAMA, I'm like, fingers crossed. I hope it's the stop with camel because I love it. It's such a cool, for one, the build is just fascinating, but I love that biplane. It's really just, I think it has a cool design and it has a great history. It's easily one of the most recognizable fighter planes from World War I. So thank you, Mike, for sharing your build. And I can't wait to see it finished. I can't wait to see it fly. So that's my shout out for IFlyAMA this week.
Well, I got to tell you, from one iconic fighter plane to another iconic plane, just on a different side of the century, I think you could say. So Mike Whitaker has been posting a series of posts over the last few weeks of his build of a B-2 bomber, which is one of my favorite airplanes. Just, I love that delta wing configuration. I think it looks so cool, so futuristic, and I can't wait to see that thing get finished. But you'll be able to follow his progress over at IFlyAMA on Facebook. And if you have not yet join the IFlyAMA Facebook group, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Why haven't you?
You're just missing out on so much cool stuff. You can go over to facebook.com/groups/IFlyAMA. That's where you go, join, and hey, start posting away in there, and maybe something you post will be cool enough to get featured right here on the show. You never know.
And just because we're not always commenting doesn't mean we don't see your posts. So you never know.
Absolutely. One of the other cool things that we've got going on Facebook this week, you may have already seen it. It's something called a Facebook Hop. Now, if you don't know what that is, you're probably not alone. I can promise you that. But it's essentially, it's like a blog hop. And if you've ever seen a blog hop, what it is you've got one blog that posts some sort of content. And they also post a link to another blog or another person who also shares that same bit of content, but with their own flavor to it. And we've kind of taken that and adapted it a little bit to Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/model aviation, that's the AMA's Facebook page, that's where you can start. And there's a bunch of us that have been involved in this. So I've got a post out there. Dylan, our producer, has a post out there. Lots of people from the community, companies are involved. It's really just a way for folks to see how you can use this downtime, this quarantine time that we've got right now, and still be able to be active in the RC community. There's a hashtag that Horizon Hobby actually started that we're incorporating into this called hashtag RC from home. And it's a really cool deal to see all these different videos. They're 15-second to a minute-long videos that people have posted. And I hope everybody goes and checks them out. I think they're really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a great way to stay social, stay connected with the community because, like what I was saying earlier, I'm totally going stir crazy. And part of it is because, I can't go out of the house and hang out with anybody or even see my coworkers other than on Teams. So it's a great way to still stay connected. And I'm excited to see this. It kind of reminds me of a Choose Your Own Adventure, if you remember those books.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, oh, what does this person have to say? What does this person, what do they have to share? I think it'll be fun too, because we're going to get to see stuff from people that you guys might not usually see. You see me and Matt a lot, but you don't always hear from Dylan. So I'm excited to see what he's coming up with for this. I can't wait.
Again, you can go, you can kind of start that process, start down that rabbit hole over at facebook.com/model aviation. There's going to be a pinned post right there at the top. So go check that out. As soon as this episode's over, don't go yet. Wait till we're done.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
Because the next thing we want to talk about is there's a new campaign that's being brought up by the AMA Foundation that is, I think, going to be really important to the future of not just the AMA, but the future of our hobby. It's something that they're calling the Where Will You Land campaign, and it's designed to support the AMA Foundation Endowment Project, which creates kind of a long-term solution for funding programs related to education, student scholarships. The National Model Aviation Museum is another thing, and a few other things as well. It's going to help to provide necessary capital for annual growth needs, and it's going to be a really, I think, important project moving forward. We talked a little bit about it on the last episode, but what's important about today is we've released the first video in a series of 3 videos related to this campaign. Just went live today.
Yeah. And, this is such a great thing. And I'm really excited that we're able to share it with everyone, because truly this endowment is going to help preserve the past, present, and future of aeromodeling, not just within the AMA, but as a hobby, as a legacy. And so I'm excited. I'm really excited about this, actually. So I can't wait for you guys to see these videos, to see this campaign really take off and land.
Absolutely. So, folks, you can go to modelaircraft.org/land to check these videos out. Again, the first one goes live today. The next 2 are going to be going live in the next 2 months. So May 15th will be the next video, and June 15th is going to be the 3rd video. So and we'll be sure to be pushing those out here on AMA Air as well to remind you, but that's where you need to go. Go check it out. I think it's going to be a really cool program for the folks at the AMA Foundation.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, we did it. We got through another episode of AMA Air, and we got through it remotely, which I wasn't sure was going to happen, but by golly, we did it. So we want to thank you guys. We want to thank you guys for sticking around here with us and watching this week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below.
And don't forget, if you're not an AMA member yet, there's no time like the present. Like Matt said earlier in the episode, our membership department is still working hard for you. So if you want to join today, we'll get you guys set up. And you can join us at modelaircraft.org/join.
Absolutely. And for everybody here at the AMA, we want to thank you guys for watching. Or there. Or everywhere.
Everywhere.
But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time here on AMA Air.
Bye.